Man, you were 2-2 last week. I was 3-1. I am now at 500. 12-12 on the year. You're a little bit behind me at 9-14-1, but again, I am capable of falling off the face of the earth, as we have seen. All right, let's begin. Browns, Steelers. So the Steelers, 3.5-point underdogs here in Cleveland. Who you going with?
I'm gonna go. I saw a field goal game, regardless of Mayfield playing, and I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna think that the Browns win the game, but the Steelers cover because of that hook. That hook makes me feel good, and so I don't want Browns fans mad at me. I'm saying the Browns will win outright, but I think the Steelers will cover.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I don't. I think the Browns win the game. I don't think they win by more than 3.5. I think the only way they're able to cover that 3.5 is if the defense creates multiple turnovers. And I just haven't seen it from the defense. I think we need to see the defense kind of start to become the unit we thought they were going to be. And you know what? You look at the Steelers, and when I think about it, the Steelers under Ben Roethlisberger, as he currently is, are a whole lot more like the 4 teams the Browns beat than the 3 teams they lost to.
Agreed.
All right, another game that we are both talking about is the Titans and the Colts. So the Titans are 3.5-point underdogs in Indianapolis. Colts 3.5-point favorites at home. Who do you like in the Titans and Colts matchup?
Wait a minute, Dave. Hold on a second. The Titans are dogs?
Yep.
Oh, man. I misread producer Brian there. My fault totally. All right, I'm going to ask that Brian and you reverse my pick.
Okay.
Give me a Vrabel plus the points, because here's the thing. Mike Vrabel as a favorite, I'm not so sure about. But Mike Vrabel as an underdog, I love that play. So I'm sorry, I misread that. Mike Vrabel loves being an underdog, and his team is red hot. And I know the Colts are playing better, and they beat the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara. But the Titans, you want to talk about stacking victories. Their last 2 victories are against the Bills and against the Chiefs. So I think that the Titans will not only cover, I think they'll win outright.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Titans plus 3. I thought we were going to disagree on that one, but yeah, I think the Titans. Derrick Henry has been everything they would hoped he would be. Tennessee's defense playing a little bit better than most thought they would. So I'm going to agree with you. So we're both on the Steelers. We're both on the Titans.
I have no opportunity to gain on you, Dave. I don't think.
You might. We differ We have a different game as one of them. So let's do the Eagles at the Lions. So the Lions, 3.5-point underdogs at home.
I love this spot for the Lions. I mean, the Eagles are scuffling, and I'm sure they're going to be sitting there going, this is ridiculous that we should be favored by more. But their results haven't borne that out. Meanwhile, Detroit somehow, some way has avoided a victory, and they're still hacked off at the officials for the clock operators, or more so the official, because the clock went to 0 when Lamar had that 4th down play. But in Detroit, when they should have beaten the Ravens, I like the Lions here to finally win a game. Therefore, I'll certainly take them as the underdog.
Yeah, I agree. I think they get their first win of the year. I think they continue to play really hard for Dan Campbell. We kind of laughed at him with his kneecap comments when he was hired. But that's a team that has a lot of fight. And the Browns have them in a couple of weeks, and that's a team you do not want to overlook because, as you mentioned, they should have beaten the Ravens, and then the clock goes to 0, and then Justin Tucker comes and hits a 66-yard field goal to win by 2. So that's the Lions. I like them to win outright as well. All right, for your fourth one, you got the Panthers at the Falcons. Falcons are 3-point favorites at home. Who do you like in that one?
I don't know why I'm going to the Atlanta Falcons. Well, every time I do, Matty Ice and the boys let me down. I mean, if this had been anything more than 3, then I wouldn't have even touched it. But I can see the Falcons winning this game by a field goal, so that would at least give me a push. I don't like this too much, but I'm willing to ride Matty Ice and Kyle Pitts to a victory over a struggling Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah, the Panthers got beat up by the Giants. That was my really bad pick. I usually have, if you find the biggest blowout, I've usually picked the opposite one in these point spreads, just as a word of warning.
Still been good, though.
I'm 500, and then I have the ugliest losses that you could possibly have. All right, my fourth one, I'm going to go with the Seahawks minus 3.5 at home against the Jaguars, and I figure I don't think Jacksonville will be able to score very much against Seattle's defense. I know they've struggled a little bit. I think Geno Smith finally gets a win for the Seahawks, and I like Seattle at home. I think Trevor Lawrence has all kinds of issues up in Seattle, and I think the Seahawks get a much-needed win. I think they cover the 3.5. So, D-Man, I do have the lead. I'm at 500. I'm trying to break above the 500 mark for the year. You got one game where you can gain on me. So you got the Falcons.
I picked the wrong time to try to gain a game on you. I like your pick a lot better than my pick. I like the Jaguars getting punked more than I like Atlanta winning by more than 3.
The D-Man, Dennis Manoloff. D-Man, as always, appreciate the time and the insight. I'm sure we will we'll be back at it next week to see if you gained ground or if I am able to pull away here. The D-Man, Dennis Manoloff. Remember, WTAM 1100 as well as 106.9 FM. Thanks very much, D-Man.
Thank you very much, Dave.